Hi everybody and big welcome to a cEDH TV gameplay. Me and Pontus are guests by Hattrick, who used to be from the th99, by now is called the local game guy. Shorter hair too.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I hope you still recognize me. Obviously get more gameplay for you guys over on Local Game Guy for Commander, but you can also expect some One Piece gameplay soon too. So that's the whole idea behind the rebrand. We're going to be discussing more TCGs than just MTG.
Also with us, we have Chris.
What's going on, everyone? I'm Chris, also known as Rocket Man on Discord and Twitter. I'm a writer for Pat's channel. I got some cute little tech in here, such as Dosan for a 3-mana silence effect that you can bring out with creature tutors. Can never go wrong with Culling Ritual, can never go wrong with Notion Thief Wheel Package. Got a lot of Rockside tech, got a lot of tech from Sans Black Evo, a friend of mine's deck. And yeah, I've gotten a couple games in and I wanted to bring it to cEDH TV today.
So I can understand, maybe there's some confusion. Well, when my opponents take damage, and this is equally true for them, I gain 2 generic mana. Specific though, it has to be colorless. But you can make up to 6 mana, and the idea being you cheat out a bunch of big stuff and or stacks. So early game, you're really trying to hit your stacks pieces. Sometimes your big stuff is stacks pieces. We have some generically costed good stuff in there. I would say one of the things that you don't anticipate to work as well as it does is Kozilek the Great Distortion. If you ever want to play that card, this is potentially the list for it.
So I'm bringing Thrasios Armix. This is basically a take on like Rasa Cats, but without the white. So it's just Ulti Thrasios with some reanimation package.
So I'm playing Neheb, a request deck sent to us. I kind of like it. Mono red, just try to win with aggravated assault and also generating a bunch of mana to cast some really expensive spells or utilize the graveyard in various cool red ways. And with that, let's take a look at some opening hands. So I really like my first 7. We have a turn 1 mountain into Rite of Flame for 2 mana to cast Generator Servant. Then on turn 2 we drop the second mountain, sacrifice the Servant for 2 more colorless mana, and boom, we have a turn 2 commander in play. Also with haste from the Generator Servant. So equal to this, it's like a turn 1 commander. Now the rest of the cards in this hand are kinda mediocre. However, this is a commander that are filtering, so we get to discard these mediocre cards and hopefully draw into better cards. So I don't really care that the cards in general aren't that great. Like for example, Final Fortune is a great card, but we don't want it now, we want it later in the game. City of Traitors isn't a great card either, or it is a really good card, but we could filter it away. So I'm snap keeping this because we're gonna get the commander trigger on turn 2. Now let's look at what Pontus is keeping.
Let's try starting 7. So this hand is okay-ish. Having a lot of mana is nice. I think Mons might be on wheels. I know Chris definitely is. So just mulling for mana might work. This is also a turn 1 Thrasios, turn 2 activation if I want to keep Solving back turn 1. But I'm not keeping this on the first 7. This is like, we're very much relying on either Thrasios activations, and Thrasios activations is pretty bad. Or we're hoping for someone to wheel us, and yeah, that's not a gamble I'm willing to take on the first 7. So go to second 7. Yeah, the mana in this hand is a bit too awkward. It's kind of close to being a good hand, but because our lands don't actually produce blue, I'm not gonna keep this. Otherwise I could like vamp, like turn 1 Dork, turn 2 vamp for Remora maybe. This hand is fine, let's just keep it.
Let's get into the mulligans. So, honestly, this is our good first 7. This is the exact type of hand I want. I have 3 lands. I know that Pat's playing stacks, so he's going to make it harder to cast spells. I have a straight up turn 2 Rhystic Study. If I draw something good, I could get a maybe turn 1 Rhystic Study. Not only that, but like having Finale of Devastation on X=2 to go get a Dockside is insane. Or I could Finale of Devastation X=2 to get a Thassa's Oracle and pull Tainted Pact out. This hand is gas, and I'm definitely going to keep it, so I'm going to keep my first 7.
So Belbe not on play and 4th in turn order is really rough. So we want something that's going to do a lot for us, not necessarily play to the perfect Belbe turn. So something like this is maybe acceptable. Normally you'd look for something that pings all of your opponents at one time. We can maybe get by with the Root Maze and slow things down, but we technically do have 2 lands here with the Undergrowth Stadium, And another way to shut down artifacts with Manglehorn, Imps of Mischief for interaction. I can't say I love it though. I still want to show you guys what premium Belbe tastes like. So we're going to go ahead and restart. So that was our free mull. This is a little bit better. We have something to set up a combo, right? So we have Buried Alive. We have 3 lands, which is probably more than I would want to start with. We don't have any pingers, but we do have the God Pharaoh statue, which would have been really sweet off a pinger. We're going to go down to 6 here. This is not keepable in my book. We definitely want to be able to do more. Wow, no lands, going down to 5. Is this any better? Not really. We have 1 combo card, a Praetor's Grasp. It's gonna get someone's DT. This feels awful. Belbe is not the deck where you go down to 4 cards, yet we're going down to 5. So sadly, I think this is what we're gonna have to use. Whew, definitely not where you want to be playing Belbe, but it is what it is. Let's see what we can do with this hand.
I am going to draw a card for a turn. I'm gonna play a mountain. And I'm tap the mountain and cast a Rite of Flame, generating 2 red mana to my mana pool. I'm gonna use that 2 red to cast a Generator Servant. And then I pass the turn to Pontus.
Draw for turn. Oh, thank you, world. I might have kept an Exotic Orchard as my only land without thinking about it. But play the City of Brass. Cast this Jewel Lotus. I will crack it to cast my commander, Armix. Then I will tap City of Brass, take damage to cast a Imperial Seal, finding this Mystic Remora, and then I'm passing the turn.
Alright, I'm gonna play Mana Confluence, tap it and lose a life, and I'm gonna play a Tinder Wall. I will pass the turn.
Big money on the draw. Let's go. Really crossing my fingers here. Does it make life better? A little bit. But let's go ahead and put down an Undergrowth Stadium. I have 2 or more opponents. And guess what? I pass.
I will untap and draw a card for turn. Second mountain. And I'm gonna cast my commander Neheb, Dreadhord Champion, by sacrificing this Generator Servant, giving Neheb haste in this case. Neheb resolves. So Pontus just tutored with an Imperial Seal, and it doesn't look like Pontus has the Adnas mana coming up. But we're definitely... If I have an option to attack 2 players, and there's no really reason to attack either one over the other, we're obviously attacking Pontus. So here we come.
No blocks, take 5.
I have a trigger. I'm going to discard. I think I'm gonna keep that one. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. 4 red mana, and we draw 4 cards. Oh, we should have discarded 1 more. I'm going to use 2 of the red to cast my Ruby Medallion. Then I'm passing the turn.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be this Exotic Orchard. Tap it to cast this Mystic Remora. Fish resolves. Then I'd like to tap this, take damage for a Fyndhorn Elves. With enough power on board to kill Neheb, I'll pass turn.
I like the subtle threat. And not so subtle, really.
City of Brass, land for turn. I'm going to sacrifice Tinder Wall for 2 red mana, and I'm going to use 1 of the red mana to cast a red Elemental Blast targeting Mystic Remora.
But why though? Yeah, trigger fish.
Yeah, you got it.
It's dead.
Got it. And then with my remaining red mana, tap 2, losing 2 life, and I'm going to play a Ristic Study of my own.
That's just rude, dude.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna pass turn.
This isn't the board state for Belbe, nor do I want to cast her. Unfortunately, Ristic likes all spells, not just non-creature. So I think we're probably going to pass.
I kind of wanted to have a Belbe in play, but I agree that would be the wrong thing. So draw a card for turn. So I'm gonna cast Critical Hit, targeting my commander. This is gonna give my commander double strike, which is gonna generate 2 triggers from my Neheb. I have a Ruby Medallion, so I have a mana over, and I'm using that mana here, this mountain, to pay for the Ristic Study trigger. So no card draw. Critical Hit resolves. So Pontus obviously tutored for Mystic Remora, being on so low hand size. So we are now attacking the other guy. So coming your way, 10 damage. So first you take 5, and I will discard 1, 2, 3 cards. 3 cards, and they generate 3 red mana. Then there's a second hit. Because of first strikes you take 5 more, and I get to discard more things for more card draw. I'm going to discard 1, 2, 3 cards. So I have 1 card in my hand currently, and generating 3 more red mana, going up to 6. And I'm gonna cast using 4 mana, and then 1 more, going down to 1 red mana in the mana pool. I'm gonna cast World at War, giving me a secondary combat step. And then this has a rebound, so I will cast it again next turn as well. So I'll untap my commander. I'm attacking Chris again with my commander.
I will take 10.
So a cool thing with Neheb is that I don't lose the mana that I've generated, so I still have 1 mana. However, I'm gonna discard my entire hand, 3 cards, these 3 go to the grave, draw 3 more, and add 3 more red mana to my mana pool. And then connect again for another 5. However, we're discarding all 3 cards again, sending all to grave, generating more mana, draw 3 cards, and this is where the fun ends. We didn't draw into something big and explosive, but we're gonna do a land drop, Ancient Tomb. So here's actually an interesting problem with Neheb. I currently have 7 mana in my mana pool that I kind of want to use, and I use them to gain an extra combo step and punch people really hard. Now it might have been better to actually cast a cool artifact that like increase my card draw capabilities. However, if I start to cast these 2 cards I have in my hand, I will decrease the amount of cards I filter through the next turn. I don't really have anything I need to kill with a lightning bolt, and I don't need to put Torch Courier into play either. So I'm actually gonna keep these cards in my hand. Like, we could kill the Finnon Elf. I would have done that, but we're not gonna do that. That's kind of pointless. So we're doing nothing and hoping we draw into something good to increase the chance of filtering efficiently next turn.
Go to my turn. Land of turn, Morphic Pool. Tap 2 for a Thrasios. Oh, not paying for a stick. You can draw. But then I'm gonna Pasios.
I'm gonna draw for turn. Land for turn is gonna be a Forbidden Orchard. I'm gonna play an Arcane Signet, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass turn.
All right, can you hear that ambulance in the background? They're coming for her. They're coming for Belbe. Her pulse like dropped hours ago. They're not sure she's still alive, but we'll see with this top deck.
Don't worry, Patrick. I think I'm killing you last.
Oh, thank you. Oh, wow, sweet. Fast land, Blooming Marsh, let's go. There's so much we can do. So much. But real pro players in this very moment will say pass. I pass.
I will untap and draw a card. So I can attack and kill Chris. If I attack Pontus, I will lose my commander. I have first thing first, casting World at War, paying for Rhystic Study. So the first thing first, I'm gonna try to kill a player, and then we might go for Pontus afterwards. So Neheb, coming you again, Chris.
I got a response.
Figured.
Demonic Consultation. And I will be naming Blue Elemental Blast.
Kinda happy this is happening on interaction instead of winning, so yeah, sure, I'm happy.
Yeah. First 6. Do we lose a game on the spot? No, we don't. Let's keep going. I don't need win cons. They just slow me down. Come on. I know you're in there somewhere, Blue Elemental Blast. At Punt City 2, I deconsulted for it ad nauseum, and it was the last card in my deck, so I've been there before. There we go! Oh, okay. No Thoracle lost, no Dockside lost, we're still cooking. I'll move all these into exile, and then I'm gonna cast Blue Elemental Blast. And Pat, you can have a 1/1, man. I got you.
I have no response to that. Neheb is killed and sent to the sad command zone. Then I will go to my next combat phase with the World at War, but that does not do anything. I'm gonna play a mountain, then I pass the turn.
Go to my turn. We're way in this game. I'm just gonna pass. Go ahead.
I'm gonna play a Windswept Heath as land for turn. I'm gonna crack the Windswept Heath. Oh darn, that land is gone. Do we have this land? Yes we do. Pyga. And we're gonna go ahead and play a Thrasios. I'm gonna Pasios.
Looking at the board, looking at my hand here for reanimate. I'm gonna target the Tinder Wall, and we'll pay for it by tapping Undergrowth Stadium. That's right, give me that Tinder Wall. Give me that sweet Tinder Wall. This is what happens when you miss lands, okay? You have Generator Servant, but we're gonna stick with Tinder Wall, and I lose 1 life for that. Not threaten the Spirit Token on anyone, but pass.
Go and untap. I'm gonna recast Neheb. So he costs 6 because of commander tax. With Ruby Medallion, I shrink it to 5. However, I can't pay for Rhystic Study here, so go ahead and draw a card. And then I pass the turn.
In your end step, I'm gonna shock people and tap 4, take damage for a Thrasios activation. So I'll scry. It might be greedy, but I'll put that card on bottom and then reveal this Marshflats. And I'll go to my turn. I would like to fetch. Finding an Underground Sea, Postage you the Rhystic Study. Untapped, so I give you Thrasios activation. That's the downside of me doing this. Postage resolves, you can find the land.
Underground Sea. At end step, I'm gonna activate Thrasios. So looking at this card now, bottom this, and I will reveal a Brain Freeze. Very neat. And And then I will move to my turn. We're going to play a Bayou 1, 2, and I'm going to cast a Finale of Devastation where X equals 2.
Sure, no, I want it. I want it. I want that. I want that. Take your Tinder wall back. I don't want this. So we're breaking that for the red.
Aw.
And then I'll play an opposition agent.
Oh, darn.
I got a gut feeling. It's either a Tainted Pack in hand, I guess, and then Thassa's Oracle, but it doesn't matter anymore unless you have a counter.
That kind of stinks. I'm dead on my turn regardless because of Neheb. Instead of searching my library, I'm just going to go ahead and search my graveyard instead. And Pat so kindly put a Tinder wall in there 30 seconds ago. So here, I'm in a tricky spot, right? So I don't have a definitive win, but I have quite a few cute little things I can do. Unfortunately, this dockside just breaks even. So this is pretty much dead weight in my hand. But what we can do is I can Tainted Pact until I find Underworld Breach. And if I hit Underworld Breach higher, or if I hit something else, I'm able to do some cute little stuff with either Thassa's Oracle or turn Dockside into blue and do something with Thassa's Oracle. And I don't think the turn's going to pass back to me, especially with Mons over there threatening to kill me. And I think the rest of the table would like to see me dead because I'm in a scary spot. So I think it's time to jam my win and see what happens. I'm going to sacrifice Tinderwall, adding 2 red to my mana pool, and I'm going to tap this Arcane Signet for a black, use red, and I'm going to cast Tainted Pact, reveal until I hit something. Pact of Negation, Rite of Flame, Mana Vault, Woody Footy, Cabal Ritual, Elvish Spirit Guide, Pluty Duty, Thassa's Oracle. Thassa's Oracle can stay Gonzo. St. Meyer, Defense Grid, Monkey, Mopal, Notion Thief, Chrome Mox, Talisman, Underworld Breach. I'm gonna put Breach in my hand.
Makes sense.
And the rest of these cards are gonna go into exile. And I'm gonna go ahead and cast an Underworld Breach.
In response, I'm gonna give you this offer you can't refuse instead.
Darn. Yeah, I faulted the interaction there. Yeah, that's cool to resolve.
You get mana back at least.
Yeah, that's true.
No response to my Smasher.
Thwarted. Did I want a Dockside? Totally, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and take our next turn to a Wishclaw Talisman. Do we crack it now and tempt someone to tutor on their turn? Like, you normally put it to the person that's like last in priority. So, but also Neheb is sort of poised to potentially nuke you. So, you know what? Heck, why not? Let's go ahead. I'm going to put 3 counters on this, or 2 counters rather, and then just leave it. I'll tap it, I'll tutor something, and then I'll give it to you, Chris. There are 2 options here. There's a Buried Alive pile we can start up and potentially animate dead our Asmo's line and win the game. Or we can just get Chain of Smog in this instance. Or we can get something like a Sylvan Library for value. If I'm being honest, all of these feel bad because I don't have the mana requisite for anything, but I do know I will have the mana potentially for Culling Ritual if I were to just get a Mana Crypt or some sort of fast mana. I know that it'll get nixed as soon as I do it, but at least in this instance I can put out Tevesh Svat, wipe out most of the board, and then have answers to a majority of threats and potentially draw off Tevesh. So I almost feel like just fast mana going to next turn is probably the best bet. And mind you, we can also grab the Okiba Gang enchantment that does 1 damage to everyone and get mana that way off of Belbe as well, but I'd rather not offer them value, particularly the Neheb. So I'm just going to calmly pass now. Politely, calmly pass.
Untap and draw a card. Combat. I'm attacking you, Pontus.
Sure, no blocks.
Didn't expect that. So we are going to toss 3 cards here. These 3 and draw 3 cards, generating 3 red mana to my mana pool. I'm gonna cast a Memory Jar by using 3 of my mana and Ancient Tomb. Then I'm gonna play this land that comes into play tapped, Dwarven Ruins, and I'm gonna pass the turn.
Go to my turn. 3 for a Windfall.
I have a response to Windfall. I'm gonna tap this for red and cast Red Elemental Blast, targeting Thrasios, Pontus Thrasios to be more specifically.
My Thrasios. That's just rude, dude. Sure, it's dead.
Then I have no further effects against Windfall.
Windfall resolves. The land turn will be this Bloodstained Mire. I'm not gonna crack it because there's an op agent in play. Cast this Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox will imprint this Birds of Paradise to cast a Sylvan Library. Then I'm passing the turn.
A volcanic island. So fun fact about Praetor's Grasp is that Opposition Agent doesn't do anything about it. Cast a Praetor's Grasp. First things first, we have a Vile Smasher trigger. It was a 5. Pat, you're going to take 3.
I have no response. You can search my library.
Awesome. Underworld Breach.
Here is your Underworld Breach. You have stolen it from me. Evil, evil.
Cast that Underworld Breach.
I pass.
Yeah, Underworld Breach resolves. You play a Dockside from the yard. Dockside ETB looks like 5. Return that memory jar back to your hand.
Guys, do you have any interaction against this? Or what do you think? Pontus, do you have an interaction in your deck that you could use here?
I would say we're definitely losing if we don't, so we probably
Yeah, I'm
just
not
do.
sitting on any solutions personally, so
All right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have any solution either in my hand. So yeah,
Cool.
I'm sacrificing the memory jar in response to your Otawara, Soaring City.
I'd like to respond as well. Otawara no longer has a legal target, so I'm going to cast Deflecting Swat, and I'm going to change my Otawara to Pontus's Armix.
That's pretty funny.
Well, that's actually good, taking away Fierce Guardianship if you draw into that.
Yeah,
No effect.
awesome.
Memory jar resolve, we exile our hands and we draw 7. So I drew into something pretty cool. So I would like to cast Bolt Bend in response still to the Otawara on the stack. It costs 1 free less because I have a feature with lots of power, so I only pay 1 red for it. And I would like to target Otawara and change the target of Otawara.
Oh, changing the target of Otawara.
I like to target your or my Underworld Breach that is gonna come back to my hand, preferably.
Luckily, for my sake, I still have an Underworld Breach in play. So, to crack a treasure and cast this blue Elemental Blast, targeting the Bolt Bend.
I've done what I could, guys. Very interactive red deck here is doing its best.
Yeah, you're cooking.
I've got nothing unless the up agent goes away.
Wait, I can make the Op Agent go away. So I'm gonna cast a Braid because of Ruby Medallion, only 1 red. And I would like to destroy Pat's opposition agent, dealing 3 damage to it.
I'm passing. That's fine with me.
A Braid resolves, Op Agent dies.
Then, with Hydroblast still on the stack, I would like to respond. I would like to fetch. Shocking this Water Grave, Swan Song the Hydroblast.
I'm gonna cast a Mental Misstep, paying 2 life.
Well then, interact the red deck, do your thing.
The interactive red deck have done a lot for being a mono red deck. Just saying.
Not enough, dude.
I pass.
We're still losing.
Never enough.
Do better.
You do better. The mono red deck have, I think I've interacted more than you have. Blue deck over there.
I stopped him twice, dude.
I'm gonna play an LED. Crack a treasure for a blue. I'm gonna cast a Chain of Vapor targeting my own Dockside. So back up to 4 treasures. And I'm gonna crack LED for 3 black. Discard that. I'm gonna recast LED, exiling Eldritch Evolution, Scalding Tarn, and Verdant Catacombs. To cast a Praetor's Grasp targeting Pontus.
No response. You may have my Oracle, if that's what
You have the
want.
Oracle?
Yes.
Awesome. Brain Freeze from my own graveyard. I will have all targets hit myself, just to make it simple. But that all goes into my graveyard. I'm going to cast that Thassa's Oracle. So since my deck is empty, I have no cards left in library. Thassa's Oracle trigger is going to win me the game here. Good game. GG's.
Yeah, did not expect Chris to have any more wins, so the windfall to deal with Patrick and Mons kind of backfired. Oops.
I also didn't expect Chris to actually have any more wins, and that is why I attacked Pontus. But yeah, he found a way to get a Underworld Breach and an Oracle somewhere else outside his own deck.
Don't even look at me. Don't even talk to me right now. Just counting my spirits here.
Moral of the story is just keep fighting, play to all your outs, jam your wins, be really good at flipping off of Demonic Consultation. That's a big reason why I won the game. Play Praetor's Grasp. That's the moral of the story as well.